Welcome to Awakening TV. I'm Alicia Hartzell, heart expert and the author of the book, Awakening to Your Story. This week's episode is for anyone who does not yet understand their value. It's for the people who have been bullied and who have been taught to second guess their right to just be who they are in the world. This is for the people who sit just outside of their own life, wishing they could have the things or do the things that make them feel like who they are. This is for the ones who, when they close their eyes at night, they imagine a life where they could be who they wanted to be without suffering and pain. This episode is for every human being. We are all here at the table of humanity, and there's a lot of suffering going on. And I wanted to talk about that today. I wanted to talk about the ability to be completely who you are. We're going to look at this episode in 3 places because I love giving you 3 actionable areas. And the first place is I want you to really, truly understand your environment, right? So at the table of humanity, we have people who are suffering and we have people who are thriving and we have a mix of people in between. And the people who are suffering often pass along their suffering, not because of anything malicious or an intent that is out to harm. It happens to be what they know as their belief. And the people who are thriving at the table, they pass on their truth that they have returned to, right? Their belief of that energy of thriving and of light and of love. And all the people in between who are still seeking and trying to move through their suffering and transform it into something more powerful, which is actually where most of us are. We are in the middle trying to work things out. Now, as you look at the table of humanity and you look at the people in your life who are passing things on to you, right? Who are sitting at the table of humanity and who you trade experiences with and interactions with, right? There are some people at the table who are a value add. They make you see those parts of you that you might have forgotten. They may see your dreams fully realized even when you can't. Those people are a value add to your life. And there's a good chance that they are the kind of people who are seeking within themselves as well. And then there are the people who they subtract from your life. They help feed into those terrible thoughts and voices in your head that say you can't, you shouldn't, you don't, right? Those people feed into the lies of limitation. And I want you to really think about it as being separate, right? So often we hang our value on what other people think and how other people witness us or see us, right? So often on social media or people in our lives, we actively ask them to see us and value us. And their opinions so often matter more than our own. And one of the ways that I like to explain this and really drive it home is using the stream kayak principle. So I want you to picture a handful of people in your life, right? The people who are working against your truth, right? The people feeding into the lies. Now, whether they are, I have a list here, whether they are people who are getting under your skin, parents maybe who want you to be something that you're not, a person of affection that you are holding up in the highest regard who maybe doesn't return that affection. People at school, neighbors, people on social media, whether they're close to you or they're removed from you. I want you to think about those people that hold your attention throughout your day, right? I want you to really see them, put them in your mind's eye as we're talking about this, and hold them separate from yourself, right? As we start talking about the stream kayak principle, I want you to understand that you are responsible for your consciousness. The river of life is a river that flows downstream. It's its natural progression. And if the river is life, on that river, you have a boat. And in that boat, you have everything that you need to navigate and move through life. Everything that you need. Now, in that scenario where you have your own boat and you're going downstream and you're in sync with the water, that is where you feel in flow. That is where you feel like the world is working in your favor. But if you are resting on someone else's belief in you to create value within yourself, to validate who you are, what you're doing is you're holding on to their boat. If you have someone who's trying desperately to make you something that you're not, or doesn't see you in the way that you want to be seen, their claws, right? Their fingers are holding onto your boat, trying to pull you over. And it's your job to peel those fingers back. Or if you're in someone else's boat, to jump back into your own boat, right? You've got to be able to sit within your own consciousness and know that your value is because of who you are and what you're doing, right? So as we really understand the environment, understand that each person that you thought about, right? Each person that you pictured, people who have fed into limiting beliefs, or who have wronged you, or who are causing or interacting with you in your life in a challenging way, those people are giving information back to you, but it's only your information if you own it. It's only your belief if you choose to own it. So as you take a step back, right, that's one of the beautiful things about stepping into your boat. You can take a breath and look. These people are separate from you. And yes, I understand that you so desperately want them to see you for who you believe yourself to be. But if you are in a place of desperation, then you are holding on to their boat. Take all judgment out for where you are, but start to move towards getting into your place of your own consciousness, right? Being able to separate the voices in your head that don't necessarily belong to you. The voices that maybe say you're worthless, that maybe say you can't have what you want. The ones that say you won't amount to anything. If you live your life like that, I won't love you. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're not lovable. You're not attractive enough. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You have things about you that no one likes. I promise you, these are only the voices in your head because they've been handed down to you. Take the time to figure out what belongs to you and what does not. They are only yours if you adopt them. You have the right to reject them, to throw them back into the water and let them be transmuted, or let the fish eat them. If it comes up into your thinking and into your consciousness, then it's up to you to choose, is this mine or is this someone else's? And do I have the bravery within me and the strength within me to cast it aside? It is not mine and I reject it. You have that right. If it's not your truth, you can reject it, right? throw it back into the water. If you're in your boat, you have that power. You have everything you need right there in your boat. Throw it back into the water if it's not yours, right? Understand your environment. Now, as we move on to the next thing, I want you to understand your journey, right? This is your journey. I don't care if you're 10 years old or if you're 80 years old and anywhere in between. This path of humanity is your journey, right? Everything that you have within your space is there to serve your higher good. Now, I know that this may be a hard one to wrap your mind around, and if you choose not to believe it, I completely understand. But as someone who has gone through really crappy times and has been at the very bottom and has found it within my being to rise back into my truth and into the light of my own consciousness and the consciousness of the rest of the world and the divine, right? Whatever that looks like for you, whatever language you wrap around that. I want you to know that your journey is yours. You get to step in. You get to create ownership for it. I personally believe that we all come here with purpose. We all come here with an agenda to learn and to see and to experience certain things, to create healing in certain places. And every challenge that you come across is designed to help you meet that internal drive and thriving, right? And I want you to know that where there is crap, and there will always be crap, because this is how we as a human learn, right? This is where we find the meat and the juice of who we are, and we have the ability to step in and create learning and understanding. Where there is crap, there is possibility for movement forward. I know there are many people out there who are in tears and who feel like, but you don't understand. I'm stuck in a marriage that I don't like. You don't understand. My parents don't see me for who I am. I get it. I really do. I understand. And I want you to know that I believe in your journey. I know that in your boat, you have everything that you need to rise. You have everything that you need to rise. Ask the universe for help. Scream out for it, and then wait and listen. Look for your miracles, because they are there. Your story has value and it has purpose. And even the situation, the crappy situation in front of you, has value and purpose. I want you to think back to the table of humanity, right? I want you to think of those people that I had you think about earlier. And I want you to think about their journey, right? Remember, we are each in our own boat. We're taking those ties that weave us together and bind us together in struggle, and we're letting them go for a moment. And I want you to really see what their essence of love is, right? Is it painful? Is it unconditional? Every person has an essence of love. You have an essence of love. Your essence of love is constantly evolving. And the crappy moment that you're sitting in now will change that. It will deepen it if you allow it to. As you rise into it, your truth about love, your essence of love will change, and your heart will expand, right? Just like all those people that you thought of before. They may be sitting in limitation, and what they bring to the table is a limited essence of love. And they gift that to you. Now, as a person who's seeking and who is working on their consciousness, you can step in and see this and expand your essence of love through your experience that you're having right now, right? I want you to think about their expression of truth. Their belief in life and experience shows that, what? That it's limited? That it's squashing you, that it's hindering you. It's only hindering you because it's hindering them. That's what they're passing on. That's what their truth, their limited belief shows. Now think as you keep them separate in their own boat and you in yours, what is your essence of love and expression of truth, right? Where is your expression of truth? Does your truth believe that all things are possible, that you are complete? Or do you have a limiting belief that is masking that truth, that's saying you're not enough, that you can't have the things that you want, right? And what about your expression of life, right? When we think about the people at the table of humanity, those people that we are holding in our mind's eye, is their expression of life full, or is it clouded and gray, right? Is your expression of life full, or is it clouded and gray? I want you to be honest with where you are, but I want you to know that you have a path moving forward. It is a journey, this life of yours. And you have the ability to step in and create more. From this kernel of challenge, you can create more love, more truth, and more life in that journey, right? And that brings us to the value. If you can start to see this table of humanity, and you can start to really understand the people who sit at it and where their limitations come from and your place in that, you can start to see how valuable you are. It's a ripple that goes out. You understand how amazing the value is that comes into your life, how it almost saves you at times, right? You are just as valuable at the table, right? Everything that you are experiencing, every last nugget that you are experiencing has value. And how you move and mix and evolve and learn and rise to the occasion, that's a gift back to the table of humanity. Now, I want you to keep those seeker glasses on. I want you to believe in yourself and believe in this journey and understand the environment that you are in, because your life matters. Everything that you're experiencing is happening for you. It's happening for your experience to give back to the table of humanity. I know, crappy stuff comes. I've lived through it. I understand. I have been in a heap on the floor. I have hung 2 inches from the ground while somebody pulls at my hair and tells me that I am worthless. I understand. But I also understand in those moments, you have an opportunity to choose. What is your truth and what is not? You can give back what does not serve your higher good. And it is time. Your time is now. And I want you to know that I believe in you. There are hundreds and thousands of us rallying behind you in belief that you are valuable, that you're worth the breath that you breathe, that even in your honest challenge, you have what you need to keep moving forward. If you need help on this journey, I am here to help you rise. I am here to teach you and inspire you and support you on your journey back to your truth. My website, Awakening to Your Story, has tons of material. That's what I bring to you because I want you to know your value. I want you to understand and step into that worth. My book, Awakening to Your Story, can be bought online. I am here to work with you one-on-one if that is what you need. You can go to the website, awakeningtoyourstory.com. You can email me with questions, alicia@awakeningtoyourstory.com. Don't give up. Know that you are miraculous. Until next time, I want you to know that I am sending you unconditional and brilliant love because you're worth it.
For more support,
information, and inspiration. Join me at awakeningtoyourstory.com.